All right. So I'm going to tell you more about how to do that a little bit, a structured way to do that. But first, I'm going to ask myself what time it is. So I'm going to go till 3:30, Randy, and then questions. Is that right? That's what I'm saying to myself, and no one's saying no? All right, so I got a few minutes left. So what are we talking about practically? So there's lots of things, but let me just tell you one thing that you can do practically. First of all, you could watch what you say. One of the practices of a 36er is called in Hebrew, Shmirat HaLashon, guarding your tongue, and avoiding what they call Shmirat HaLashon, evil speech. So this could get very complicated. There used to be, I don't know if there still is, but there used to be a 800 number that you could call in New York of rabbis whose focus was on right speech, as the Buddhists call it. And you could call this number, but it didn't cost anything. You can call this number and say, Rabbi, here's my situation. This is what I'm going to say. What do you think? Is this evil or not? And they would just tell you, and you get your answer. I don't know if that still exists, but I'm not asking you to check it out with anybody else. But there's another way to look at it. This comes from Israel Baal Shem Tov. He was the rabbi who founded Hasidic Judaism in late 1600s, early 1700s. The Baal Shem Tov taught that each one of us is born with a certain number of words to speak. Not the words themselves, just the number. And every time you speak a word, it counts down, 17 billion and 1, 17 billion, 16 billion, 900, right? Yeah. It just goes down. And when you're at the last word, you're dead. So somebody's going, uh-oh! So the Baal Shem Tov says, before you utter another word, ask yourself, is this the word I want to die on? Because you don't know what number you've got left. I want to say, you stupid jerk, but what if that's my last 3 words? I don't want to die for those. And you don't know the number. So you got to think, is this really what I want? If I were to die, and this is the last thing I said, and you always hear people say that, a loved one dies, oh my God, we had a fight, and I said, I hate you, and then they died. Right? I mean, that happens all the time. It's never happened to me. I keep saying I hate you, and they keep coming back. So it's not magic, because I would have, gotten rid of those people. But you hear that all the time. So think about it. Is this the word I want to die on? I mean, that's a powerful Lamed Vavniky thing to do. Another Lamed Vavnik thing to do. So I saw the dead squirrel and I offered a prayer. Right? I don't know what's going on in the town, but there was a lot of fire engines and police cars running around, right? So you offer a blessing to the first responders. You offer a blessing to the people who are in crisis, whatever the crisis may be. Now I use, I think Mirabai mentioned this earlier, the metta practice. Right? Didn't she tell us that? No? Yeah? She did, yeah? So some people were listening, some people weren't, but okay. So Lovingkindness Practice. So I learned metta, not from the Buddhists, but from Reb Zalman Schachter Shlomi, my Rebbe, our Mirabai and our Rebbe. And he uses this phrase. You connect with the person you're doing this for. Could be someone living, could be someone dead. Usually they're not necessarily in your face, though it is possible that they are. And you say to that person in one way, or as you see them or another, you say, may you be free from fear. Right? May you be free from fear. May you be free from compulsion. May you be blessed with love. May you be blessed with peace. So it's free from and blessed with, and they're pairs. So if you're free from fear, you're blessed with love. Those are the opposites. If you're free from compulsion, you're blessed with peace. So I don't believe in magic, but I believe in metta. And when my father and I, our relationship, was like this. Not like this, like this. I was not what he wanted when I was. He didn't know when I was born it wasn't what he wanted, but it was quick. As soon as he realized, let's play catch, and he throws the ball, bonk, and I just, no, you have to catch it. Huh? What? So, I did everything to please my dad. I went out for every sport in high school there was because I needed a letter, so I could earn my high school letter. I went out for basketball. They made me the announcer. I couldn't make a three-point shot, but I could say 3 points. I went out for wrestling because I am big. And they would wrestle, and I was always in the heavy person's class, and it was like sumo wrestlers class. And I'd be laying there, and there's a big, heavy guy on top of me. And I'm going, just pin me. I can't stand being under all this flesh. I was terrible at that. I went out for baseball. They made me the ball. They called it the manager. I washed the jock straps of the people who actually sweat. It wasn't... I got my letter because I became an editor in the high school newspaper, something my father did not respect at all. So my dad and I are like this. We didn't talk about this, do we? No. I forget where I am half the time. So I used to call home every week. I'm a good Jewish boy. I call home every week. My dad is deceased now, but he's the generation where men have to do all the driving and answer all the phone calls. Right? So he always answers the phone. Even if my mother's sitting next to it, I'll get it. He runs over, picks up the phone. And it'll be me. And I go, hi, Dad. This is the actual conversation. Hello? Hi, Dad. Everything okay? Oh, no, everything's fine. Here's your mother. That was it. Decades and decades, that was the phone call. Then my mother went deaf. Oh, right? God has a sense of humor. My mother went deaf. So now, he can't hand it off to my mother. Now I email my mother, but before there was no email, so my father would have to talk to me. So we'd have these conversations, and the conversation often just had to do with things he liked. So how's your car? So I drive a crappy old car. Your cousin just got another new Lexus. Well, that's nice, Dad. How's your car? Well, it's not a Lexus yet. And so we just tension. So Reb Zalman said, do metta with your dad. So I started just doing it. I would imagine my dad, may you be free from fear, may you be free from compulsion, may you be blessed with love, may you be blessed with peace. And I started to realize that my dad wasn't mad at me. My dad was frightened for me. He was a Depression baby, a World War II adult. He fought in France. He did all these things. He believed that the world was totally anti-Semitic. Even the Jews he thought were anti-Semitic. Because everyone's out to get... And he was very hyper about that. And because of the Depression, he thought, you got to have a lot of money just to survive. And we were not wealthy, but we were middle class. But I never made the kind of money that my cousin made. And my cousin worked for the family business, and I chose not to. So he was afraid. And for me, because he couldn't care for me. He didn't have that kind of money. So his fear made his speech compulsive. You know what I mean? It sounded to me like he was angry and he was mad and he was disappointed. But after practice, I said, no, he loves me. But it comes out in this compulsively negative way because he's afraid I'm not doing what I need to do to take care of myself and my family. So my sense of fear was replaced by love for my dad. And my sense of compulsion, just the way I would respond to him, was replaced by peace. And I didn't respond. And then one day we're on the phone, and without any pre-planning, I just said, I love you, Dad. So I'm going to cry. And then he says, I love you too. And the relationship changed. It was like this. Now it was like this. No, we had a much closer relationship. On his deathbed, I sat and I did metta with him to help him experience whatever he was going through without fear, without compulsivity. Metta is a powerful practice. Ambulance goes by, you can say to the first responders, may you be free from fear. May you be free from compulsion. May you be blessed with love. May you be blessed with peace. To the people they're racing to help, the same thing. It's a powerful practice. So if you're writing it down, it's may you be free from fear. May you be free from compulsion. May you be blessed with love. May you be blessed with peace. So there's a couple practical things.